think we're live now. So welcome everybody. We'll give a couple more minutes for anyone who's still trying to get logged on. Get my screen set up. Right. Looks like we're all set there. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, my name's Richard. I am part of the sales team here at PSPDFKit. I've been with the company for a little over 8 years. In the background today, one of our web engineers, Guillermo, is joining me. So feel free to use the chat and the questions on the sidebar. If you have any technical questions, if you have any comments, we'll do our best during the webinar today to answer any questions that pop up, but also take any questions down, any requests for demos, anything like that, so we can follow up on those. So so for today, we've got about 45 minutes set aside. The idea was going to just do a quick overview of PSPDFKit, the portfolio of products that we have, get into a bit of a live demo of the web framework, which is one of our flagship products, and kind of go over some best use cases, how to access support, the sales team, and things like that. So I'm going to give it one more minute, and then we'll dive in. So great. Okay, so landing here on our front page of our website, PSPDFKit has been delivering PDF solutions to a wide array of industries for close to a decade now. We started originally in the iOS space, primarily supporting iOS applications, iPad applications for rendering and manipulating PDFs. Over the years, we've extended our product line to do a number of different things across a number of different platforms. PSPDFKit works in a lot of different industries, including aviation, construction, things where documents are very centric. We've seen this expand over the years as things have gone more virtual, and companies try to become paperless. On our website, we do have the solutions page. If you are working in one of these industries, it's a great resource to come in and kind of understand, different companies that work with us within that industry, and kind of some ways we can, kind of empower your users to work with documents. So, right. So PSPDFKit has a number of different things that we license, as we kind of mentioned. On the left sidebar here, you can see all the different SDKs that we provide for different operating systems, different development languages. We do stuff both on the front and back end side. What makes PSPDFKit super unique in terms of how you can consume our product and how you can license it is that we have distinct license keys, we have distinct components, we have distinct kind of products for each operating system. So when you're working with our iOS SDK, this is led by engineers on our team that have a lot of expertise in the area. The UI, the UX is tailored to what someone on one of those devices would expect to see when they're working, similar to Android web as well. We've also extended our SDK to work in different end user products such as Salesforce. A lot of people use Salesforce for their CRM management. So this allows you to essentially use different viewing and manipulation tools within the SDK as well. But additionally, we also have stuff for SharePoint. So let's dive in. So I'm going to come over here and jump into our web showcase. So what you're looking at here is essentially a visual representation of our web framework. We've added a custom sidebar on the left that gives different examples. This is not part of the standard UI that you get when you license our web SDK. This is custom development that we've done. But today really wanted to focus on what our web SDK can do and the different components. So, looking at our web framework, these are the different functionalities that we offer. As I kind of mentioned earlier, what makes us kind of unique is that you're able to essentially pick what functionality you want to license. So this is component size. So yeah, so wanted to start with the viewer. The viewer is kind of our base component that allows you to render documents using our web framework in a web browser. So any kind of device that would use a web browser, you could essentially integrate PDF support, which is quite nice. So we basically render the document. Our SDK is fully self-hosted, so you have complete ownership of the journey of the document, from rendering to what happens in the browser as well as what happens after it leaves. So some of the UI features that we have is switching to a dark mode. We also have different ways to navigate through the pages, thumbnails, to make the PDF and things more consumable. Also being able to zoom. A lot of people use our framework for construction or engineering drawings, so being able to zoom into a specific size is really important, so you can have that fidelity in terms of determining where things are located on the document. I can jump back out here real quick to fit the page so I can see things quite clearly. So other than that, searching within a document as well as downloading, these are all pretty standard features to our viewer. I think where the magic starts happening with our SDK is when you start looking at some of the customization options. While you can license our framework and it'll allow you to get up and running very quickly, very plug and play. There's a lot of customization on how you can go about the appearance, disabling certain things. So, we are used widely for e-readers and things like that. So, moving from the standard viewer toolbar, which is up here at the top, to maybe a magazine viewer. You can see we've moved the toolbar to the bottom. We've disabled a lot of icons. We've removed the ability to download the PDF. So we now have complete control of, start to finish of where that document lives. Other nice, things from, our UI team and our UI designers to be able to kind of do a flip book and have those kind of animations to give more of a real life look into how you're going to consume PDFs. I've said PDF a lot, but one thing to mention is we do work with other document types. We're able to work with images, PNGs, TIFFs, things like that. You can still utilize the same great functionality of PSPDFKit. We also are able to take Office documents, convert them to PDFs, and allow you to work with those as well. So you can see me taking a Microsoft doc and converting that to a PDF. Okay. All right. Moving from that, again, really focusing on UI. One of the things we're really proud of is kind of our ability to kind of adapt to different devices that you would use PSPDFKit in. So this is kind of showing a different view state of us, working on different mobile devices, for customers who are coming in with interest in wanting to, develop a solution. When you're developing different solutions for, you have to make a decision whether you're going to go native or you're going to maybe to build a web app first that's compatible with different devices, the mobile responsiveness is great. So you can kind of look at different ways that we've adapted the UI so that regardless if you're on an iPhone, a Galaxy, you're able to kind of see what the PDF you are using our web SDK is going to look like. So, yep, that's our viewer. You're free to come in here and kind of check out some other things if you wanted to see like how you can customize the toolbar, remove certain things, change the order of things. It's very intuitive and being able to have you be able to, give the appearance of what you want to your framework and your users. Okay, moving right along. Probably one of the most common things we see people coming to PSPDFKit for is annotation support. There's a lot of good open source viewers on the market, but typically there are some inflection points where people start looking for maybe a commercial solution rather than something to build in-house. Annotations, as you can see at the number, we have over 21 different annotation types. So annotations is something that allows a lot of freedom in terms of people coming into a document and being able to mark it up, being able to interact with different users. So, everything from being able to highlight text and then selecting whether you want to, highlight, do some sort of strike through and editing. We have a lot of manipulation tools that you're able to work with the PDF. For anything that you do add to the PDF, we have our annotation inspector. We have certain defaults. Obviously we use PSPDFKit blue as the default annotation color, but if you wanted to change that by default to green or adjust the backfill of a document as well, you have the ability to do that. So I can pull the opacity back so I can see through that. So a lot of abilities to customize things. Again, and you can always choose what you want to display for the end user. So we can outline that we were doing a webinar on February 8th, and that's why we made this annotation so that can be there. So so other annotation types, being able to highlight. We have different modes of highlighting and things like that. Erasing as well is quite important. Some of the newer functionality that we've introduced, this was highly requested from our customer base, and so one of the things we do, the roadmap is try to hear what our customers are asking for. So we've implemented text rotation or annotation rotation so that I'm able to manipulate annotations a bit more. So I'm now able to change that annotation as well. I'm also now able to multi-select annotations. So if I wanted to select multiple annotations at once, rather than having to select one by one to delete, I can now use the multi-annotation mode, select all of them, and then I'll use the keyboard shortcut to delete that. So multi-select annotations is something new that we've come out with. In addition to annotation rotation. So really happy with that and all the work the team's done. So that's something that's new that was out with our latest release of PSPDFKit for web. Shape annotations are super useful. Again, a lot of customization options there. Working with different industries, engineering drawings are super popular. So listening to customers more, we understood that, cloud annotations are something that are very industry specific in terms of construction drawing. So we enabled that type of annotation type to be there. So, as you're evaluating PSPDFKit, if there's things that you think that would be helpful, things that are particular to your industry, your use case, we certainly want to hear about them. That allows us to, continuously improve the framework, as well as kind of maybe like lead way to maybe something that is not easily exposed in our APIs or things like that. So the last thing probably to finish up, the core annotations is, we do stamps. We use the same stamped template that Adobe uses. So, during a lot of our development, we're doing QA testing with other readers to make sure everything you do with, PSPDFKit. So if I'm downloading this and, subsequently opening it up with another PDF viewer. Are those annotations persisting? This is PDF View, which is used by Google Chrome. So, those annotations are persisting as I work through different viewers and stuff. So that's really important to us. So we use the same stamp template as Adobe, which benefits a lot. But we also allow you to come in and do custom stamps. You can build your own. You also can import your own stamp design. So again, if you are doing something that's super niche to your industry, you can come in, upload your stamps, whether it's like, legal, signatures, construction, things like that. Adding image annotations. We also can create link annotations if I need a link to, PSPDFKit or something like that. So this is super helpful. So I can create a link annotation that'll allow me to move throughout different websites in there. So I've added a link annotation to the PDF. I can associate it with something else, but it is here, and I can click on it and I can move here. I can also move within pages as well. So I'll pause real quick to make sure Guillermo is hanging out with all the questions. I see a lot of pricing questions. I'll at the end of the webinar, I can speak on kind of the pricing model and things like that. Would highly suggest getting in touch with our sales team. They can walk you through this, since the pricing is highly bespoke. Coming back to our feature list here, we'll want to learn a little bit more about your use case. So saw someone who's interested in Android, we'd want to learn like what components, what the use case is there. So I can put some more information on how to get in touch with the sales team, and we can have a quick chat. So yeah, next use case would be our forms use case. PDF forms, specifically PDF Acro forms, is a great way to manage and organize information. It's a great way to collect information. We follow the PDF spec in terms of supporting Acro forms. So again, cross compatibility with other PDF viewers. What this does is it allows you to fill out forms, and then collect this information. So we support checkboxes, radio buttons, things like that. We also support signature boxes as well if you have an e-signature solution, through adding an image signature, whether I want to type my signature as well. So there's a lot of different things I can do here in terms of capturing PDF forms. One of the nice parts about our SDK is we expose a number of APIs that allow you to programmatically fill out forms. So if you have the information for first and last name, if you have the address, if you have certain information prior to the form being rendered, you can actually map these form fields to your database. So when the form is rendered, this information is already pre-filled out, which is quite nice. So it saves a lot of time if you're filling out the same kind of documents. You could always have first and last name pulled up and things like that. One of the big things that we've done in the past year is, we've enabled a new feature called our form creator. A lot of companies are, going paperless. They're digitizing forms. They're needing to update forms. So our form creator allows us to essentially interact with the form and create different form fields. So I'm able to, create a different text box here, extend it, and then have the pop up to, change different properties of it, whether it be, the form's appearance. I can also come in, the text style. So there's not only appearance things, but there's also advanced properties that allow you to, make it required. You can map the ID to one of our APIs so that you can programmatically fill that out. So form field name. So a lot of flexibility here in terms of being able to work with existing forms. Yeah. One of the biggest use cases we see right now is we see people coming to us with, wanting to bring, an e-signature solution in place. So, right now there's a ton of, digital signature platforms. But, something a lot of our clients are considering right now is, instead of relying on a third party to do that, building something that would allow me to, add signature boxes to a PDF, download that PDF, and then, open the document back up or send it out for signature. And then being able to use PSPDFKit to recognize the signature box and signing it. So again, like having that workflow can be super beneficial, and maybe it saves cost on your side as well. It allows you to, bring some more functionality in-house. Cool. We'll keep moving on. Guillermo, thanks for helping out with everything. So what have we covered so far? So we've kind of made our way through forms and annotations. We touched on electronic signatures. Kind of piggybacking on the signature piece. Digital signatures and e-signature laws are changing pretty drastically across the world. More governments and entities are accepting e-signatures. So, excuse me. So one of the things we've done over the years has been able to provide a platform to allow you to essentially apply and verify a digital certificate. So once that process is done, PSPDFKit here on the top header is being able to show that this has been digitally signed and all signatures are valid. What is super then helpful is PSPDFKit. If the document is altered in any way, so let's say I highlight this text, we now alert whoever's viewing the document that it's been modified. So, the document has been changed since the signature has been applied. So, you have kind of two options there. I see a question about the electronic and digital signature. So electronic signature is the motion of adding, this signature, which is ideally a PDF annotation. The digital signature part is the further validation through a digital certificate that the document is valid. The signature is who they are. And so it's just an additional level of security that the document hasn't been altered and things like that. And PSPDFKit can be the vehicle to help you do that process. So cool. Other quick things to kind of touch on, document editor. A lot of people will kick out to end user tools like Adobe to be able to, add pages, duplicate pages, things like that. So, bringing that within your application so you don't have to leave. It saves time, but also provides a lot of value in terms of being able to control the document lifecycle. So like installing an SDK within your web app is going to allow you to, one, ensure that the document never leaves. It also saves time without having to download it, upload it in another application, do that, and then make sure you're keeping track of everywhere you've downloaded. So the document editor is a great tool. And one thing definitely to mention with everything I'm showing, like everything I'm showing is the UI side of things. Like you can do a lot of this programmatically. So you could programmatically add a cover page. You could programmatically add a watermark to the PDF. There's a lot of things here that while I'm doing it, the visual representation, there's APIs that you can take advantage of. Yeah. Good. Speaking of like, jumping out to other tools, one of the big functionalities that you see when working with PDF is actually the request to actually change the content of the PDF itself. So, most of the stuff I've done today is I'm adding an additional layer to the PDF. So like I'm not actually changing or altering the base PDF, but I'm adding an additional layer that I can then, add, additional data to. I can flatten it. I can think, but with some of our latest releases, what we've done is we've enabled basically the ability now to edit the PDF itself. So I'm now able to come in and change the PDF, match the font here, and work from there. So I'm able to do that in different places. So if I did find some sort of, spelling error, I can come in and change that itself. So, if I have a template, maybe you sent something over with the wrong date, instead of recreating the PDF, I can come in here and change that myself. So, we can go 2023 webinar deck. Okay. Some things we're working on right now is to extend, this to full paragraphs, have more flexibility. But this is a huge tool that I know a lot of people spend significant time in, like, kicking out to other end user tools that do this, but this allows you to do a lot. And then I have an option to overwrite the existing thing. So yeah, I have my new 2023 webinar deck, which is great. Cool. Moving from there, a couple other things. So we touched on that. So yeah, we did image document. So, I see a lot of things about, GD Picture and DocuViewware. So, one of the things that happened this year is or Bliss and PSPDFKit did merge under a single entity. So, we're absolutely happy to have a conversation on, what's the best technology to use for certain use cases. There is currently work being done to use some of the great things that GD Picture does to be available with PSPDFKit for web. So, like, things like office conversion, OCR. So, like, we're certainly happy to set up a conversation to kind of look at the roadmap, understand, like, where you're heading, what product is going to be the best fit, and make sure you're using the right technology. And that's our ultimate goal, because there's a lot of things we do here. One proprietary thing that we like to mention on every single webinar is something that PSPDFKit brought to the market, which kind of redefines how you can work with PDFs. Often, most workflows with PDFs involve downloading a document, annotating it, saving it, and then sending it off to another user. With PSPDFKit Instant, we have brought more of a Google Docs workflow to PDFs, which allows you to essentially do things such as threaded commenting, much like you see with documents, so you can tag certain users. It also allows you to basically sync all changes in real time, so that you're able to have multiple people working on a document at the same time, which is really a great feature to kind of streamline workflows, whether you're a group of individuals working on the same document. And in this case, like, we're demoing a teacher-student situation where the teacher is going in between a public and private mode for their annotations, but also tagging the teacher on certain things. It's also great from an individual use case. If you're jumping through different devices, I'm going from my tablet to my desktop. This is a great way to ensure that data is always the last version possible. There's great conflict resolution, so we really enjoy it. And so again, this is entirely self-hosted. And it's a great tool to use. So, other than that, there's a couple specific features around certain industries. Obviously we've built out certain things like measurement tools, which allows you to measure the distance between certain points on a document, which was another thing that was directly derived from, some of our customers. So this is something that we really like showing. So being able to do this and being able to measure the distance between 2 points on a document could be super helpful. So you can see in the top right, I have the grid where I can come here and I'm getting the distance and the calibration of how far that is. So we continue to iterate on things. So again, I ask you, like, if you joined today, if there's anything that you didn't see or interested in seeing, like, please let us know. We'd love to have a conversation. So you can see the precision here. Cool. Yes. So I'm going to look at the sidebar to see if there's anything. Okay, cool. Guillermo's helping out. So some other things to just kind of navigate the PSPDFKit website. We do provide a entirely free trial. So you're able to come in. So today, if you wanted to come in and try the web integration, we have different ones. So you come in with the web, you pick kind of what front end that you're using. We'll use JavaScript. We use the NPM, and what this will allow you to do is it'll walk you through getting PSPDFKit web added to your product or your project, excuse me. It will be watermarked. We'll put a red watermark on each PDF, but essentially what you'll get access to is all these features that we showed today. So you'll get an ability to trial everything. And then through talking with our team, we can decide which components are best. We can work out a custom pricing model for you. And then when you move to a production license, it removes the watermark. It narrows down the functionality that you need, and you'll be good to go. But you're essentially working with our latest version of PSPDFKit, which is great. A couple questions about APIs, things like that. We have our full documentation here. So what you'll see is you'll be able to go and check out customization guides, integration. A lot of times we hear from customers, one of the reasons they go with PSPDFKit is because of our documentation. So, best practices on how to use for security, caching techniques, and then more things about creating toolbars. So this is all publicly available. We don't gatekeep our documentation. You can also see the APIs that we expose as well in the different classes, so we can help you do some things that you want to. Yeah, Marcel, definitely. You can definitely come in to the viewer and customize the interface. So I can come in here on the original one, and then I can decide, I don't want anyone to be able to zoom in, zoom out. You can see as I'm doing it, it's being reflected. We need to kill annotations. We don't want that. You can also, change the actual appearance of the tools as well in the toolbar. So there's a lot of customization options, not only in the toolbar, but the sidebar as well. So we have the sidebar here that we have for thumbnails, outlines, annotation lists. So, if you're doing anything to document, we can see the annotation list. So you can come over here and you can see thumbnails, outlines of the PDF. So I can navigate if there's any annotations on the document. We'll pull a list, so you could pull that annotation list and it's time stamped. We can also add bookmarks to the PDF. So you can actually customize the sidebar as well. So a lot of customization options. As of going over the features, this is actually the feature page itself. So the components and features are here. So what we've been doing today during the webinar is kind of highlighting each one of these features. If you're navigating on the website under products and then feature list, you can actually go to the same thing I'm using, and it has a drop down and it tells you what each feature is. If you want to learn more about side scrolling, it will link you to the documentation as well, which is really useful. So you can also come here to the search bar and be like, I wonder if PSPDFKit does redaction. It does do redaction. So what it'll do is it'll send you to our documentation. And then you can also always go into the showcase that I've been using, which is the web demo. You can type in here too, and you can go into redaction, and you can learn more a little about redaction. So, I can select this, mark it for redaction, and then apply a permanent irreversible redaction, which removes the underlying text from the PDF itself. So a lot of redaction tools in the market actually only put a rectangular annotation over the box or over the thing. So we'll take the word security here. A lot of tools that you see will essentially cover it up with an annotation, which can be worrisome because if I search security, I see it once here, but there's two results, so it's underneath here. So even if I flatten it and I open up the document again, if I search for security, I'm still getting two results because the underlying metadata is still there. I can also just use PSPDFKit to remove that annotation, which is not what we want. But if I use PSPDFKit and I mark it for redaction and I fully apply the redaction and then I go search for security, I'm only getting one result now up here on my sidebar. So I permanently removed that and the underlying metadata from the PDF. So a great tool. Yeah. Let's see. Other things that I just wanted to cover, because I know we're running towards the end of the demo. In terms of pricing, yeah, we certainly welcome everyone to contact the sales team at the end of the webinar. I'll put my email as well as email to contact the team. So kind of what we showed today, we provide a very flexible pricing model where we can basically tailor the license to only support the functionality that you need. So we'll look for the products and the components. It is bespoke, so we like to work with companies of all sizes. And so we definitely want to have a conversation. So one of those ways is to hit the contact sales button. You can tell us a little bit about your project, what SDKs you're interested in. So, we can understand, the right personnel on our side to talk to you. We have product specialists, solutions engineers, myself that can talk. You can also just skip the line and set up a call. So, if you want to set up a call tomorrow, you can go ahead and get a call scheduled with our team. No issues there. You also can communicate directly with our technical support. So Guillermo and the team all participate in our support desk. So first line of support, you can come in, submit a ticket, we can have a conversation. So a lot of different avenues for you to essentially, learn more about our solution and what we can do. So yeah, gonna look through the chat a little bit. It looks like Guillermo has helped with a lot of things in terms of answering certain questions. If there's anything anybody wanted to see, I can definitely try and do those for free. I definitely welcome using, the trial key. Should be very, very easy to get up and running. But yeah. If you are interested in learning more, we definitely have, more webinars that we've done. We've obviously, intelligent document understanding to your apps with key value pairing and things like that. I know there were some questions about that. This is available for anyone to look at. Content editor, if you're interested in learning more about, how we integrate into other solutions such as like SharePoint, Salesforce, things like that. Yeah. So So Guillermo offered the key value pairing demo as well. So you're welcome to use that and kind of understand. You can even upload your own documents. So that's one of the great things about our showcase. At the bottom left, you're able to upload your own documents. So if you are interested in seeing how your documents perform under using PSPDFKit, you can definitely do that. So yeah, so this is an example of me running an invoice through our OCR engine, and you can see different things that we're able to extract in terms of the document itself. So different languages being localized to that, and we have two different documents, but you can definitely search more. So cool. Anything else before we wrap up? See a lot of great thank yous and perfect. So hopefully today was super helpful. I'm including my personal email at the bottom. So if anybody does want to reach out and have a conversation, you can also email us directly or reach out to the sales team. We're happy to kind of help navigate any pricing questions, make sure you're set up with the right thing. We work with a ton of amazing companies that you probably saw on the front page, including DocuSign, Dropbox, Autodesk in the construction industry, Lufthansa in the aviation industry. So, I'm sure we'd love to hear about your use case. But if there's nothing more, we can wrap this up. And I certainly wish everyone a great day and look forward to next time. Thanks, everyone.